It's the Global Pigeon P Outlook panel. This panel will be led by Global Pulse's expert, Mr. Lalit Bangar, who will moderate the panel. He'll have a small presentation too. On the panel, we have the President of OIT Myanmar, Mr. Shyam Narsaria. From Bajrang International Group, we have Jayesh Patel. And from Dalal Satish Upadhyay, we have Mr. Satish Upadhyay. So, ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, I'd like to start the panel. I'd like to request you all to please ensure mobiles and connected devices on silent. We've had a great lunch earlier. And we'd like to thank our lunch partner, Reliance Retail Limited. Our friends and colleagues will be joining us, but we won't wait for them. So, moving on very quickly. To start this panel and to moderate it is a gentleman with a deal of experience. He's been closely associated with the pulses industry for over 25 years. And he has seen the pulses, international pulses trade both with various organizations and different destinations. His last stint was with the Aditya Birla Group Company with its Swiss-Singapore Overseas Enterprise Private Limited operation. And he has grown that business from a very small volume to over 250,000 tons with less than under a year of his leadership. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome very well-known face in the industry, Mr. Lalit Bangar, to take away this session. Mr. Bangar will also be welcoming his panelists in a short while to the dais and continue to take this session with us. Thank you very much.
This will later, okay. Thank you. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I know it is hard to really digest things after having digested nice food, but I assure you that the panel which I have of eminent stalwarts from respective places. First of all, I'd like to call upon Mr. Shyam Narsaria on the stage, please. Mr. Shyam is a CA, Chartered Accountant, Company Secretary and Software Engineer. So he's a thorough professional man. He's CEO of RV International and have 22 years of experience in exports and imports of not only pulses but other commodity as well. And he's based out of Myanmar. And with his 22 years of experience, he have a lot of things to say here at the stage now. And he's been speaker on various conventions like GPC, IPG and other forums. And he's a president of OTA, which is the body association in Myanmar, Overseas Association, Agro Trade Association, and he's on the board of directors of GPC also. Welcome, Mr. Shyam, please. Next to call upon Mr. Jayesh Patel. Can I see him here? If he's missing, I'll introduce him later. Mr. Satish Upadhyay. I think he's a known face for everybody now. He is an international agri-commodity broker and inventor based out of Navi Mumbai, having experience of 30 years of pulse industry. Please come, Mr. Satish. He is an MBA and specialized in international foreign trade from Symbiosis Institute of Management. Before starting his brokerage, he had worked with Adani Enterprises and Kothari Group, and he has a vast knowledge of pulse industry, processing and international trade. And you know that in this particular convention, he has got a key role in organizing this conference, which has got mammoth number of participants. Welcome, Mr. Satish. Oh, here, I can see Mr. Jayesh Patel coming here. Yeah. Mr. Patel on the stage, please. Yeah, Mr. Jayesh Patel, you can see him. He's based out of Dubai. He also is an electric engineer from MS University. And he joined his career in 1992 in ETG with his Malawi subsidiary. Later on, he became a group CEO of ETG Group, and he was responsible for all the operations from front to end. He has developed a lot of pulses from various originations in Africa, so he's an Africa expert. And he also most sought after speakers. He has been also talking on various conferences. Currently, he is the group CFO and executive member of Bajrang International Group, BIG, Mr. Jayesh Patel. And friends, we are fortunate to have Mr. Rohit with us on the dais. You will see in my initial presentation, his name was missing, but I'm so happy to announce that he has gladly volunteered himself to be on the stage. So you'll have lots and lots of inputs, and this stage has really become heavy now. As I said, I was just telling 22 years experience of Shyam and 30 of each, Satish and Jayesh Bhai in industry. So 82. So to make century, I added little more years. So you can see that more than century years of experience of traders here sitting here. So I hope that without much ado, we'll start with our presentation. Excuse me. Yeah. Press. Oh, can you just plug it? Never mind, that's okay. Anyway, this panel will be discussed. First, we'll have the discussion on Myanmar, followed by Africa, and then to India. These are the Myanmar production numbers. More Mr. Shyam will continue on that. We will have a switchover in between. Yeah, you can carry on. Yeah, please.
Thank you, Mr. Lalit Bangar. First of all, it is a very proud moment for all of us, all the panelists here, that we are sharing the stage with Sri Rohit Kumar Singh. Thank you, sir. We feel honored that you shared the platform with us. Thank you, IPGA, for inviting us, Mr. Bimal Kothari. Ever since 2012, I'm part of IPGA in almost every panel. Thank you so much. As always, today I will be presenting Myanmar, the Golden Land. Again, I feel happy and proud that I'm going to present Myanmar, a country with fertile soils, 6 months of rainfall. So you can imagine how we can develop agriculture sector in Myanmar. We can grow anything. Actually, Myanmar is an agriculture country, and 37% of the GDP comes from agriculture. Almost 65% of the labor force is engaged in agriculture. So today I will be presenting two hole, straight coming to the two hole. Very simple picture. This year the two hole production has gone up. In 2022 it was 225,000 tons. This year it is somewhere around 280,000 tons. And for the exports, as we can see, in 2021 it was just 100,000 tons. In 22, 225,000 tons. And in 2023, we expect somewhere around 280,000 tons of exports from Myanmar. This growth is primarily because the incentive, suggestion and guidance by Sri Rohit Kumar Singh. As the open general license was declared last year, and further it was continued for another 1 year until March 2024. And if further assured, yes, Myanmar is an important country and will continuously import pulses from Myanmar in the future also. Keeping in mind there was an MOU also for 5 years, just to boost the Myanmar farmers, because Myanmar not only produce pulses, but the closest neighbor of India. If we wish, any Indian buyer want, they can get Myanmar cargo in 5 days. There are direct vessels. The sailing time is just 3 days to ports like Calcutta, Chennai. Chennai now become the main hub of pulses. So just 4 or 5 days, we can get the pulses from Myanmar. So the importance of Myanmar is more because of its proximity also. Coming to the next slide.
Shyamji, going further to what you said just now. Now, since Myanmar very well knows that the Indian government has really been kind enough to extend the date till 31st March of 24, what do you think this chart going, can we expect that next year, in coming year, there should be some attempt or efforts from on, because this has been always a uncertainty, what will happen, the government may ban or this thing. Now it is very loud and clear with Shri Rohit sir also has really considered this suggestions and the new policy that they should not go with the policy changes frequently. So what do you think personally that coming season when the sowing is done sometime in June, July or August, what do you think farmers' mood would be as per you?
Definitely yes. Because there was a decision on 2016 which adversely affected all the pulses growing nations. But since last year, and before last year also there were some quotas, but since last year it was made OGL for 1 year term, though I expect in future it will continue for long term. And there is one MOU also. So we witnessed in 2021 it was 100,000 only. Then it grew drastically 225,000, now again 280,000. If the same continues, Myanmar would love to produce more and supply to India. So that the idea of the government of India to control the price so consumers can get at affordable prices will continue.
I think
so
not only they control the price, to really maintain the stability of the supplies.
Stability in prices.
They see that the sufficiency of this thing also. So control of the prices, give a wrong message that government is there to put a danda, So it's not like that. It is there to really strive a balance of the availability of the proper stock, as well as see that the inflation does not go up. So that's a good news that at least, we will hear that next year when we present these slides, you will see graph going beyond this top slide, I'm sure. Thank you.
You can see the change in prices in January 2022, the market, I'm just talking these are average monthly prices. In 2022, it was somewhere around $650 FOB Yangon. Then it went up to $875 FOB Yangon in August. But because of the African new crop arrival, the price went down to up to $750. Then again, the same pattern. We are, nothing strange is there. The same pattern of last year is continuing. And this year we see the current price is say around $900. In February average it's around $850. So basically the price is in the same pattern. Yes, it is $150 higher than the last year. But two reasons. One, the shipping party is over. Last 2 years, the freight we paid $120 a ton. Now it's just $20 a ton. Second is, in last 1 year, the exchange has depreciated in India. Earlier it was around 75, but now it is around 83. So almost 10% is contributed by the exchange rate. So it's not surprising, 900. And I think this trend will continue until the Indian crop, they see arrival comes. I feel the price is stabilized. And further in August, when the African crop comes, it will be more stable, I feel so.
Okay, so now, in this chart, as you said, 900 also it touched, which of course might not have been updated. So what was the reason for this sudden spurt in last, say, couple of weeks, because I don't find any strong reason as such, but their prices have gone up so high in Myanmar and FOB terms. So what could be the reason for that?
The real reason behind is demand and supply. Yes, for the short term, there might be some speculation, might be for 15 days or a month or two. But in long term, the fundamentals will work. The market has to run in demand and supply. We cannot change this phenomenon.
Absolutely. That is a sign of healthy market as such. Very good. Thank you. We move on to Africa side now. Oh, sorry. Before that, this is what you told that. Yeah. It's the same, yeah? It's the same. Okay. Yeah, Mr. Jayesh Patel.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'll just like to present, the numbers are known to everyone, but I'd like to present slightly different, taking the advantage of Mr. Singh being here. Also, the former Consumer Secretary, Mr. Hussain, has been here on the policy. So I'd like to just highlight the historical import from Africa to India. So in 2019, the imports from Africa was about 304,000 tons. 2020-21, the import was about 355,000 tons. This is mainly the reason because of in 2016, the government of India decided abruptly to restrict the import of pulses to India, and the quota system was introduced. In last 2 years, I think again the tuor was brought back into the OGL, and the supply and import of tuor to India has gone back to 600,000 tons, and this year also we expect around 620,000 tons to come. The key thing which I would like to bring it into the attention, the Mozambique has constantly increasing their productions, starting from 200,000 tons to now almost about 380,000 tons. But the flip side of it is the Tanzania, Malawi, other side of the Sudan and other countries of Africa, the production has gone down because of the restrictions into the import. This is something also I would like to bring it into attention, just for us to generalize the tuor as other pulses. These are some of the key factors of the tuor. The total production of India of the pulses is 26 to 27 million tons, and out of that, the pigeon peas production is about 3.5 to 4 million tons. The rest of the world, the production is about 66 million tons, and the pigeon peas export is hardly about 700,000 tons, which just accounts for 6% of the total pulses spectrum. Now, this 6% is drawing the attention of entire industries, and I think we are all worried. So I'm trying to highlight the point that tuor is a very small commodity, and I think that we are paying a little over attention to this particular commodity as such. The global production of pulses is about 92 million tons. The total production, including the India, is about 4 million tons, which accounts of the total pulses about 4.5% of the total volume which is produced globally. Just to quick summarize on the varieties that we export out of Africa, the Mozambique we export the whitish, red, gajri and zebra. From Tanzania we have a Arusha variety, Mtwara South and Bariadi. Malawi we have a whitish and red. Sudan we have the smaller, which is equivalent of the Desi. Kenya we have almost, it's a cross border to Tanzania, and we have Arusha type. Uganda also, it's a small variety of the pigeon peas. We have it.
Just on a lighter note, I think the audience which are not familiar with the trade of this tuor and pulses, or maybe because there's some press note, don't get frightened by the names like zebra or lemon. You don't find any animals or vegetable or fruits there. You'll find lemon from Myanmar, zebra from Mozambique. We are just doing tuor, pigeon peas, arhar. Thank you.
It is same as we call it lemon. But tuor has no relation with the lemon, but we all call it as a lemon. So this is a name which has been given based on the appearance of the tuor as such. And I would just say, Mr. Singh is here, I would like to highlight the key point of the pigeon peas, what was happened in last 5 years. See, we expect that some sort of a special policy for the pigeon peas as opposed to just to generalize as a policy as such. The reason why, that until the 2016, the pigeon peas, was a normal import to Africa, and obviously that when 2016, suddenly the restriction came. All of a sudden, the momentum from Africa got disturbed at a great extent. And basically, that indicates that India is a sole buyer for the pigeon peas for this particular product from Africa. And that's why we need to be a little careful, because for the lentils, you could either get it from Canada or from Russia or from Australia, whatever the thing. But apart from the Myanmar, the Africa remains the sole supplier, and for Africa, the India remains the sole buyer. So that is a key point that I would like to highlight the audience as well. Second thing, that the trade volume of the tuor is hardly about 6.4% on the account of the total global production. The production of pigeon peas also, we have a fear that the African cheap import, so-called cheap import, will probably have an impact or compete with the Indian farmers or whatever the thing. So here also I would like to highlight that the assumption of the cheap import from Africa to compete with Indian farmers is slightly incorrect assumption that we have it. It is mainly because secondly, this African tuor, if you see historically also, the price gap between the African tuor and the desi or lemon is quite huge. I mean, today it is almost around 20 to 25 rupees. So Africa tuor is nowhere competing with the desi tuor or the tuor coming from the Myanmar as such. It has a separate market. Second thing which I would like to highlight is the scalability of pigeon peas. We should have a fear. Like in Canada, we have a crop rotations. We feel that the farmers could switch the crop. But in Africa, the tuor remains as a secondary crop, that it is been planted during the monsoon only. After the maize planting, that we do a plantation of the tuor.
Okay, so, Jayesh bhai, after this policy has been extended till 31st of March of 24, I believe this concern would have been addressed to these local farmers, that now they are assured that there is unlike 2016 story, which is of course a pain for everybody, but now forward looking, if you see that the current policy has been extended till 31st March, so I'm sure, do you expect this production to go up there? Coming season?
Bangarji, that is the point which I was trying to highlight here, that we to our fear that African production could go double overnight. It is impossible. Okay. The reason why, there are three major factors. The number one, that we do not have any sort of mechanized farming. And in tuor, we do not expect also to have any mechanized farming, harvesting. It is a totally manually done the thing. So we do not expect that overnight the production could go double the thing. Second thing, this is a secondary crop. It is not a primary crop. So it is being done to improve the soil fertility. Okay, fine. And, okay, sorry. So that is the reason I'm saying that it is not possible to have the fear that the overnight the production could go double in the Africa.
Very good. So your concern has been already addressed, but still we would love to hear from the Mr. Rohit Kumar ji that he's be leaving soon. So, but let us hear his views about this particular concern, and in generally also, because now we can see more stability in the policy. That fear should be out of the mind of everybody. Of course, we are dealing with the natural product. Prices may spurt, come down, fine. But I personally believe that there should be healthy trade, and of course, Rohit ji, sir.
So I'll just repeat much of what I said in the morning. First of all, tuor is very important. Don't go by the small percentage of numbers. In terms of consumption, it is in the vicinity of 10% of Indian pulse consumption. So it's important for us. The other thing is, we know that our 36.66 lakhs ton projected domestic production may not be sufficient. So of course we need to import. We want a friendly environment, friendly ecosystem for import, both from the two geographies of East Africa and Myanmar, the two gentlemen represent sitting on my left. And we are very proactive. We did a video conference with all our ambassadors in all of those countries, and including Ethiopia, which was not mentioned. And we are also nudging Ethiopia if they can start production of a tour variety that is palatable in India. So we will push that. And Ethiopia's Ministry of Agriculture and our Ministry of Agriculture are in touch, and they will do that. Our view is very clear. There is no, first and foremost is the domestic farmer, is the domestic production. And since we don't have that much area, so domestic sowing area has, there's a play between oil seeds, wheat, rice, or cotton, all commodities. So then we have to estimate that what is our requirement, what is our production, what is our projected import requirement, and then create a stable policy environment so that whatever is required as import is seamlessly imported. We are also addressing some of the issues which you will come to know in a few days of further streamlining this process so that the hassles that you have at the ports are removed to the extent possible. I would again like to give the example, I think, in the morning when we realized that some ships were stuck in Mozambique. We acted quickly. We put our High Commissioner on the job. I must compliment the High Commissioner of Mozambique. He did a good job. We also got a panic call from friends in Myanmar that the Americans have put them on the FATF list. So we quickly moved to Reserve Bank of India Governor and my finance ministry. And within 2 days, we resolved the problem and we didn't let the trade stop because we said this is commodity trade, this relates to domestic consumption. This has nothing to do with terror funding. So please put it out. And I think they responded quickly. So my humble submission to this house and to the dignitaries on the dais is, we are here, we know it's a win-win partnership. We both need each other. But as I said in the morning, as long as you are being reasonable, as long as you are being pro prices in the market, nobody is saying you make losses. The business doesn't work that way. You have to make reasonable profits. Reasonable is again the key word. If you try and speculate, if you try and hoard, if you pick up from Myanmar and put in your godown in Chennai, then we will take action. And I'm saying it again very clearly. I will not hesitate from taking stern action in case there are, there are news, there are concern on hoarding. We obviously always operate in friendly environment. First, we give a nudge. If we think that there is something going on, we will say, please disclose your stocks. If it still doesn't work, then we'll put limits on the stock, which I don't want to do because I know it's not a good policy engagement to put limits or any sort because it results into unnecessary enforcement. But it is upon you to create such an environment so that the government is not pressurized to take those steps. And even if the stock limits don't work, then there is a beautiful act called Essential Commodities Act, and we will take action. But I don't want that situation to come. We are here in a friendly atmosphere. We just had a lovely meal and good coffee in the morning. So we are on the same page. We are your partners. We want to collaborate with you as we have been doing with friends in Myanmar and Africa. We talk to them once in a month or once in 2 months. We keep track of the crops there. We keep track of any financial issues there because there was some issue in Myanmar 6 months back about their banking transactions other than the FATF. So we were keeping track. Mr. Narsaria called me and then we tried to resolve it to the extent possible, although it was totally their government's decision. But I think good sense prevailed and your government took action. So what I'm trying to say is we want a seamless policy environment which is hassle-free, least of paperwork, least of bureaucratic hurdles, as long as you play by the rules. That is my final message. Thank you very much for inviting me here. Sorry, I have to go for another meeting in another ministry. So if you permit, after...
I have a question, sir.
Yes, sir.
I have really nothing to do with the pulses way.
So may I give you the mic so the audience can hear your question. Audience can hear your question, sir.
My question is, at what level government is comfortable as far as the pigeon peas prices are concerned, and it doesn't raise the government's shackles?
The current level. So I told in the morning that when I go to sleep, I only check tour prices. Other than the cricket score, I only check the tour prices. And my people who are my Indian Economic Service colleagues in my ministry, they know that if it is the all India retail average, if it goes beyond 111.99, if the digit turns to 2, then somebody is in trouble somewhere. So I think we have reached the peak, and this equilibrium should not be unsettled. I know there are some people in the room which want it to go to 130, 140. I must tell you, we will not let it happen. आगे फिर देख लेंगे जो करना हो. Thank you very much.
So guys, the message loud and clear.
सर को रिक्वेस्ट करना चाहता हूँ.
Yeah.
सर डर लगता है, बहुत डर लगता है आप जब कुछ बोलते हो. और अतुल भाई, what we feel is that it should be around 20% of MSP. The price will be comfortable for you, sir. The tour prices is around 20% of MSP.
It is not intended. It is not.
I am Secretary Consumer Affairs. I am more interested in the retail prices being at the current level. वैसे ही अगस्त में आपने बहुत बढ़ा दिया था और थोड़ा बहुत करना पड़े हमें उस time action. But we know the situation, domestic and international. So I'll be very happy and I'll sleep well if it is at the current levels.
Thank you. Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much.
As long as you don't use ECA, the supply chain will remain very smooth.
As long as you don't cross the red light on a traffic signal, the cop won't catch you. So don't cross the red light.
My fear is...
We're not here to argue. You behave, we behave. You misbehave, we misbehave. I mean, that's the paradigm.
So guys, the message loud and clear. We should not fear for any fair trade. Government is there to support, and we have seen that actions coming so soon that the bank, Myanmar payment restriction, or after this FATF list was declared, immediate action helped, Mozambique helped. So we can see that action coming on the and what more, this could be a better example that Mr. Rohit Kumar is still on this dais, which has happened perhaps for the first time, that the trade and the government is sitting together and really working fantastically well. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you very much for your kind words, sir. Yeah, please.
Thank you. Thank
and
you,
he
sir.
has to go for some
Thanks
other
a lot,
meeting
sir.
because of delaying this session. Otherwise, he was interested in really being there for full, but now he is to be there.
Yeah.
Can we have a quick photograph? May I request Chairman, IPGA. Sir, would you come on stage for the quick photograph, sir? Thank you. Sir.
One last thing, इनके tweets देखते रहिएगा सतीश के.
Now we come back to India from overseas trip. Satish, would, and since we have a paucity of time, we will try to run through fast. So where the numbers are there, this can be very well be referred later also. But we'd like to discuss more on content. But quickly, you can talk about these three things.
Yeah, namaskar. Good afternoon, friends. And thank you, Bangarji and Shambhai and Jayesh Bhai. Rohit has just left. So we can now concentrate on Indian scenario of tour. As I shown you in the slide, it's looking there. Is there also? Yeah. So you can see this was very clear that we have a less crop compared to last year. Second, why the crop was less? Because unseasonal rains and the excess rains at the time of harvesting. And third, the disease was there in some part of Karnataka and Maharashtra, some part of Vidarbha. There was some strange disease, and that entire plant of the crop was, dried. So yield has affected because of that. Next slide, please. Tour production, as we all know, and it has been, the prices are itself speaking about the production. This year production is definitely lesser than the last year, but as per, just Rohit sir has said that they think it is 3.6 million tons, and as per our indication, as per our knowledge, market, the crop of tour is around 3 million tons this year. Some agencies or some, traders or some associations, they feel that crop is below than the 3 million tons. But our estimate is it is approximately a 3 million ton this year. Oh, previous one. Yeah. Area was lesser than the last year. Production was 14%. As per government, production was 14% lesser than the last year. And yield was, in some areas, the yield was better than the last year. So, So in totality, we assume that the production of tuar for this year is approximately 3 million tons. And there will be, our consumption is around 4.5 million ton, 4.4 million ton. It varies on the prices, price of the dal. And what we assume that my calculation is government is having 1 lakh metric ton of tuar with them. Private player plus importers, millers, stockists were having 4 lakh metric ton of tuar with them. Now tuar supply and demand, the higher import, as we can see that this year we can assume that there will be availability of approximately 1 million ton of the tuar from Myanmar as well as East Africa. And we have a crop of say 3 million ton plus 5.5 million ton is the carryover is 3.5 plus approximately 1 million ton. So it's coming to 4.5. So there is no need to worry about the supply side. What I feel is that if suppose the prices goes up, then the shifting of tuar from masoor, and as we see usually, if the prices of tuar dal goes up, then consumption level is also relatively coming down in that sense. So there is not much worry about the tuar prices, I think. Yeah.
This we can skip, I think.
Tuar import, as we know, most of the tuar, the major this year was the Mozambique supply, second Myanmar, and then Tanzania, and then small countries of East Africa. What is this? Okay. Import year-wise, as far as, till January, it was, what is the figure? 634,000 metric ton tuar has been imported, and we assume that last year it was around 8 lakh metric ton. So that may surpass this year by till March. Tuar consumption, as I told you, that the prices goes up, the consumption falls, and we have a shortage of 9 lakh metric tons. So it is a comfortable situation for tuar now, I think. Yeah. Bulls and bears of the market. The bulls for carryover is 5 million ton, production is 30 lakh metric tons, availability is 35, consumption is 44, and the requirement to fulfill the consumption is 9 lakh metric ton. And what Bulls feels about the market. The lower production in the domestic market, that is very much true. The dependency on import is there, that is very much true. Household demand is always there. And now presently it is coming, the latest is fear of El Nino is coming into the market now. And beer means the overseas availability is easily available, consumption is declining as per price rise. The stable import policy, that is good, as Mr. Rohit Kumar Singh has done for our industry. Acceptance of African crop. Yeah, now African tuar is been accepted entire India. Earlier we used to, only Gujarat and some part of MP used to process the African tuar. Now it has been acceptable in entire India now. So that is an advantage for us, And the policy concern related to the stocks. Yeah, as now just our friend Rohit Kumar Singh has just intimated. So that is a fear. Shift to substitute, yeah. Now suppose if the price of tur dal goes up, we usually see that the consumption shifted to the masoor dal, which is cheaper at the rate of around 80 rupees a kg. And chana dal is around 60-65 rupees a kg. So if the prices goes up, the okra industry, hotel industry, catering industry, they mix and match, with chana dal, masoor dal and tur dal. So the impact of shortage is will not be there this is what I feel that. Thank you.
Thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you all.
Time will not permit for the questions answers, so I think all panelists are here around only. If you have some significant questions, that can be thrown to them personally also, or on the portal or wherever it is available there. So thank you so much, and this was the first product presentation in this conference. So I thank you all, and I especially thank to my eminent panelists, all great stalwarts from their regions. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mr. Bangar. May I request you on behalf of the organizers present mementos to your panel. Ladies and big round of applause to the wonderful panel. They managed very efficiently this, It's difficult to get something going and with such strong opinions. Mr. Bangar, after the photograph. Can we have the next one? This first one is Shyam Narsaria. Next up, Mr. Jayesh Patel. Last but not the least, from the Lal Satish Upadhyay. Satish Upadhyay is also a member of the committee. May I request Mr. Naveen Naidu to please step up on stage and do us the honors and present our moderator with a memento. Mr. Naveen Naidu, member of the committee. Mr. Naidu is not around. May I request, sir, can you please step up, sir? Thank you. Thank you, Naveen Chandra. Can you do us the honor and present a memento to Mr. Lalit Bangar? Thank you, gentlemen. Thank you so much.